Welcome, listeners, to My Fantasy Wife, the weekly sports meets comedy meets marriage podcast, where a husband and wife discuss sports, fantasy leagues, and their impact on pop culture and relationships, including their own. I'm the wife, comedian Blair Postman. Yay!
Hey!
I'm joined by my husband and sports stat expert, Gary Hames. Yay! Hot topics in social media and comedian and pet nurse, Drew Harrison.
Hello.
Drew. And rounding things out, sound engineer, comedian, a man about town, Louis Bishop.
Oh, yeah.
All right. To never miss our weekly episodes, extras, and more, subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher, or go to our website, myfantasywife.com. It's got links to everything. Find us on Facebook at My Fantasy Wife Podcast, Twitter at My Fan Wife, and Instagram at My Fantasy Wife Podcast. Gary, tell us about this week's sponsor.
Comedy Bingo at Dead Crow Comedy Club. Every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. at Dead Crow Comedy. Enjoy a free show featuring the best comics from the Southeast, all while playing bingo along with the words they say. Win prizes and enjoy discount wings and tacos. Hosted by our own Louis Bishop with in-lieu sidekick comedian Lou Morgante.
And before we go any further, everyone, let's give ourselves a big round of applause. This is our 75th episode.
Yay!
Who knew we could keep it up
Not
this
me.
long? That's what she's... Okay. So, guys, we're really exciting. We've taken this opportunity. It's our 75th anniversary, or 75th episode, actually. And we're going to have some...
Wow, I've never heard this.
Really exciting. Yeah, it was on last week. We're going to have some really exciting guests to sort of launch us through to our 150th
I thought we were having
episode.
Rory.
Would you relax? Hold on. So today we're having
Good guess.
Carolina's Funniest Comic from 2015 and co-host of Game of Thrones / Gas Station Wine podcast, Joe Perot out of Raleigh, friend of the podcast. And we're going to do a largely Game of Thrones summary show, listeners. It is July 4th weekend. It's Sunday, July 3rd.
It's very summary.
So in honor of our 75th, this is kind of like our candy episode, like our whole cake and candy episode. We're basically going to do a lot of Game of Thrones and complaining. And but coming up, and this is just in July, we're going to have, next week we're going to have comedian and Eagles fan Aaron Jackson. On July 17th, we're going to have Rory Scovel. On July 24th, Tim Harmston. And July 31st, comedian Sumac Torgulkar. Oh, damn it.
At least you got a couple of weeks to get the name
No,
right.
Right.
I do. It's
Torgulkar.
Tolgulkar, yeah.
Right.
Sumac Tolgulkar.
Male exotic dancer, just in July.
Just in July. I like it. Are they going to be at the Spices Club?
He and Lively Banter are going to have a love child.
Yes, him and Lively Banter. Exactly. Oh, I enjoyed that a lot, actually, Gary. Thanks for saying it. I enjoyed it a lot.
I don't think I ever hear her say that, so
No,
definitely
never
enjoy
once
this.
ever.
Well,
since
you
I met
know,
her.
it's a super positive, all cake and candy kind of episode. So we're not gonna.
Is that like an old 1920s saying or something?
No, I'm just kind of saying, like, we're not going to eat our vegetables this episode. We're just going to kind of do whatever we want, even though, you know, it's a holiday weekend, but we're here, we're dedicated. But mostly we're just going to have some fun and talk about games.
Sorry, I went through public school in North Carolina. You got to explain things.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Dude had to change his name because he was born Sumac Tulgulkar and became an exotic dancer. Be named Sumac Tulgulkar.
Oh, you're saying that's going to be his
They
name?
changed it to Just in July. Yeah.
Well, that's catchy. Well, you can ask him in about 4 weeks.
Okay.
So, guys, we're going to skip fact checks. Let's just assume we got nothing wrong last weekend in our Eating No Vegetables theme of this episode. And we're going to go quickly through hot topics. Just if you got something important to say, throw it in there. But we're really going to dedicate most of this to, we got a lot of ground to make up for in the Game of Thrones stuff, guys. We got half a season to do. So, we got Pat Summitt and Buddy Ryan both passed away.
I just saw those names together. Imagine if they were a couple.
Wow.
Are you familiar with those two people?
Well, Pat Summitt was the Tennessee Volunteers basketball coach.
Arguably,
certainly just a militant butch lesbian.
Well, I don't know.
Certainly.
You don't know.
And then Buddy Ryan, used to
Eagles, right?
Yes, and both his kids are now NFL coaches, and he used to like make them like if they got in an argument, he just put them in the middle of the living room and bare knuckle fight until one of them was knocked unconscious and declared the other one would be declared the winner. Like,
Is that real?
Yeah, I used to
Did
have
that
to do
really
that.
happen?
oh yeah. So that's Buddy Ryan put you in the middle of his room and made you fight his son.
We just had to settle it ourselves.
Yeah.
That's the way it went.
I was going to say that, but I figured we didn't want to go into that.
Well, no, probably not. So anything to
Just
say?
saying, that would be an odd couple.
Yes,
those two.
Anything? I mean, we're very sorry for their passing, but anything of particular that any of you wanted to say?
No, Pat Summitt's just arguably one of the greatest basketball coaches. of
Oh,
all
you can
time.
take the arguably down. She was Gino Auriemma before Gino Auriemma was Gino Auriemma.
Right.
And Buddy Ryan can go F himself.
Okay.
So-
I mean, would we really be talking about Buddy Ryan if his sons weren't in the league? Like, I mean, he might have gotten a little.
He might have
gotten
on
a little.
you guys. Would we?
I just think he would have gotten a little blurb like, "Oh, sorry, he passed." But
he was the architect of the Bears defense, though, which is considered by many to be the greatest defense in the history
Yeah,
of the NFL.
and he
so.
was in that. He was recently in that 30 for 30, where now I know who we're talking about. The the one about the
85
Bears.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he also pulled a really classy move when the Cowboys were 1-15 that year.
Gosh.
They were up 49-0 or something, and it was 4th down, and they pretended to fake the spike and threw a touchdown pass instead while they were ahead by 7 touchdowns.
1987.
When
Yeah.
else is he gonna have a chance to practice that?
Never, because
What's
they
his
promptly got
49
way
up?
better and won 3 Super Bowls. So he took his chance while he had it, but it was just that's
So
kind of classless.
basically, you're just that your entire opinion of him really hinges on that one thing.
yeah, that was
Okay.
it.
Okay. All right, guys. Also of note, Coastal Carolina University down the road in Conway, South Carolina, won the College World Series.
That's not
Yeah.
possible. So
no, it is possible. It happened.
Coastal Carolina won the College World
They
Series.
won
Yes,
the
it
College
did.
World Series.
No,
Yeah.
Gary's kidding because he kept telling me every round, like, I can't believe Coastal Carolina's still in it.
And Blair's like, meh.
Well, a little bit. Yeah, but you were excited. What were you
I
most...
told her it's exactly as if. What if Coastal Carolina won the NCAA tournament in basketball? Would you have anything to say about that?
Lots of people would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nobody cares about. I don't know. Who cares about baseball?
Drew, any
Nobody cares about baseball.
any thoughts about CCU winning?
I mean, I'm extremely excited about it. I watched the whole World Series. I enjoyed it.
They even lost the first game and then won the next two. Like they were. It was incredible.
But it's just cool to see what sports are powerhouses and what schools are powerhouses and what sports.
right.
Because he's right. If Coastal Carolina, they would never come close to winning men's basketball.
Well, listen. They are better than their stature would make them seem in baseball, but they're not win the national championship good. Like that was that.
But that's baseball's been one of they created the greatest team chemistry.
Oh,
know?
yeah,
They didn't have any big stars.
Nonetheless, what do you think the odds were in Vegas on them winning that before
Oh
it started?
God, could you imagine if you
Yeah.
would have put some money on
Yeah,
that?
$500
Just
to
$10.
one.
Just
Yeah,
put it just
I know.
$10 on.
So I don't know. I thought that was one of the most unlikely outcomes in college sports in the last decade.
Do you think they even is it even relevant enough that Vegas put odds on them?
They probably have odds on the College World Series. Yeah, there's a lot of degenerate effing gamblers in Las Vegas.
Right. Gary would have bet on it, I guess.
I bet on lacrosse the last time I was there.
Who'd you bet on?
The lacrosse tournament was being played, and
Well,
I think I bet on University of Maryland just because I lived like
You
a
know
mile
who-
from the school at the time.
Well, you know who's the reigning champions in men's lacrosse?
Yeah, UNC, I believe.
That would be the Tar Heels.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What is this,
Had to win
Lewis?
something.
What do we got going on here, Lewis?
That's Coastal Carolina's fight song.
Should be. I feel like you're playing this for a reason.
He is. Hang on a second. Here it comes. It's a dragon attack.
All
We're
right.
getting ready for the.
That's
Game
for
of Thrones.
Gary.
That
Thanks,
is
man.
for Gary. That's for the Game of Thrones
I love
coming up,
Queen.
the Dragon Attack. Is there anything super important about Wilmington? We're racing through this. The boys.
Wilmington?
Hey, first of all,
I
You
think
said
it's a-
Wilmington.
Wimbledon.
Okay.
Wimbledon.
Well,
Wimbledon.
I think Blair's here. I think that's pretty important.
Aw.
Gary's here. It's even more important.
All right.
That's
Oh,
nice.
it's even more important.
Wimbledon. Yes, you win.
Oh, I don't even get a shout out in Wilmington.
Well,
Thanks, bitch.
I watched Wimbledon for a moment by accident the other day, and I noticed that they play on grass courts.
yeah, you knew that.
Oh yeah.
Stop it. You're just trying to make me fall for stuff. Hey, Mr. Bishop, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. You just we're a little quiet there for a while, so just make sure everything's cool. So since we're racing through things to get to Game of Thrones, did want to bring up this Kevin Durant sweepstakes. Apparently, he's going to make a decision by midnight tonight. Tonight's July 3rd. Any guesses of where he's going?
He's coming to Boston.
You think so?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I wish. That's me wishing that he would. But I think he's going to end up in OKC again.
What about you, Gary?
I think he's going to sign a 1 year or 2 year, whatever that minimum deal is, OKC, because if he becomes a free agent again, I can't remember if it's a year or 2 years that he can do.
It's next year.
Yeah, if he becomes a free, because first of all, his cohort there, the other all-star on that team, has 1 more year on his contract.
Westbrook.
So he doesn't want to sign a long-term with OKC because he doesn't know if Westbrook's going to be back. So I think he waits a year, and then at that point, the salary cap's projected to go up like 20%, and he can sign for another $30 million extra dollars.
They're getting ungodly contracts as it is this
I know,
year.
it's insane.
Mike Conley's the highest paid guy in the history of the NBA.
Yeah, it's
Who
insane.
is that? I don't know
Exactly.
who that is.
Exactly.
He was an Ohio State point guard that plays for the Grizzlies. I didn't see. Did he sign at home or did he go somewhere
He
else?
went Memphis.
Yeah,
They gave him max contract.
Yeah.
Highest paid player in
The
history.
Celtics just paid $115 million for the putz from Atlanta.
He's not a putz. He's a superstar.
He's not worth $115 million.
Well,
I
Mike
heard
Conley is.
I heard this stat. The Russian center that Cleveland picked up for the playoff run last year, Mozgov,
from the Lakers.
he just signed. I don't even know who it was with, but he averaged 6 minutes a game in the finals. And under this current contract, if he played 6 minutes a game, he would be making $11 million a minute.
Wow. That's like Lewis Bishop money.
I know.
Yeah.
Lakers have made some very
That's crazy.
idiotic
Yeah.
moves the last few days.
Hey, Mr.
Yeah, when
Bishop.
Justin July shakes his underwear out after a show,
Justin
like that's what
July.
falls out. Yeah,
Ladies coming to
$11 million in singles.
What would you do for a Justin July, I mean,
Did you have the male
Did you ever
specialists
have
come in
the
every now and then?
Yeah, did you have the male strippers come in now and again when you were managing the club?
I always they always wanted to, but my boss was cheap, so they would the price was never low enough.
Oh,
For her.
nice. But women
would-
are cheaper. Nice.
Well,
Oh.
yeah, but she would always want me to find people like that, but she would.
Wait, the owner was a lady?
Yeah.
Oh.
You don't know that?
No, I didn't.
Lady and a foreigner.
Oh, well, there you
Breaking
go.
boundaries everywhere.
Everywhere. Nice to know. Was she a former stripper herself?
She might have done a little bit. All right, ladies, get those singles out. We're about to get. Whew. Guess the temperature's going up in here. We got Justin July about to hit the stage. Is that humidity or is it just getting wetter in here, ladies?
Wow.
Nice. Okay. Who besides Justin July, Lewis? Who do you think Kevin Durant might sign with?
Well, after him and Justin July figure it out.
Right.
I think he's going back to Oklahoma City, but I think he's going to have a horrible season this year, break his leg.
Wow.
Like that guy did a few years
And
ago.
not in a cool show business way, but
No, like
Like in a terrible Joe Theismann
Right.
way.
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And
That image
then
is
his
I
career's-
know a few things, and
That
that's one of
image
the
is-
things I know.
and then his
God.
career's going to be over, and everyone's going to be like he's going to be the coulda, woulda, shoulda guy.
wow.
All right.
Bold predictions from Mr. Bishop.
All
I
right,
like it.
nice. I'm gonna say he goes. I don't know, with the
Lakers.
Spurs.
Okay.
I mean, that's a
He has
legitimate
an
possibility.
interview.
Yeah, that's
I don't-
my just to be
All
sassy.
all the
kinda
experts
thing.
say he's pretty much made his mind up between Golden State and Oklahoma.
Yes.
I mean, that's the only two options: is Golden State and Oklahoma.
Right.
Now
And
let's
why
just-
wouldn't you wait a year to
No,
see what your other
not
dude
unless you
does?
wanna go
Why not go to
East?
Golden State for a year?
Ginobili's coming back to the Spurs for a year.
He's done.
He used to have such nice hair.
Why not just sign whoever you think is the best team in the NBA for 1 year for the league minimum?
Why
Just be
not?
a drifting assassin.
Why not?
That's what Universal Drifting Assassin. That's the
Right.
Garrett Hames way. Speaking of drifting assassins, we got to get into Game of Thrones. One last little quick thing. Iceland is right now at the half in the Euro Cup quarterfinals.
Barring a 4-goal comeback
Yeah, they're
to
losing
the
form,
fucking French.
losing 4-0. And
Sacre bleu.
and FanDuel has started a social media campaign. Protect Fantasy Sports. Sign the petition, which is basically a petition to keep them in business.
They're the ones killing fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was really arrogant, and I tweeted about it under the My Fantasy Wife
it looks
podcast
like
tweet.
Game
thing.
over. France won.
All right, there you go. All right.
That would have been a great comeback.
Can we get ready here for Game of Thrones, and can we get Mr. Perot? And here's if you can see that important piece of information.
Yes.
That's a piece of
Keep it right there.
Yes.
Code 7748.
No! Lewis! Ah, damn it. Now I gotta change that with my work tech people. Okay. And I had it on his number there. So we're gonna talk to Joe Perot, comedian, 2015 winner of Carolina's
In case anybody was wondering, that's
Comic.
also the password to your bank card if any,
Right.
Question.
Yes.
which is missing.
Your fancy iPhone, I don't understand. So when I hit the thing, I hit voice call? Is that
Yeah,
what,
I hit a voice
Is that what you guys call?
a voice call?
Is that guys what you call calling someone on the telephone?
Yes.
A voice call.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's also the co-host, rather, of the Game of Thrones / Gas Station Wine podcast.
We'll see how this little construction that we have
Okay,
going.
yeah.
Oh, it
we're-
already sounds
we're-
fantastic.
We're trying
Works.
some new tech thing. Well, it always sounds good to us. It's-
No, this sounds louder and clearer.
Well, I have it on a different board than channel than I did
We're
earlier.
doing a lot of things to upgrade the podcast, listeners, and you let us know what you think.
Hello.
Mr. Joe Perot, you're on with My Fantasy Wife podcast. How are you?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Good. Hey, how can you hear us? Does it sound okay?
You're a little quiet. I don't know about everybody else. Why is it?
Interesting.
Did you say Blair's a little quiet?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, surprising, right?
I know.
Wow.
It's like wow. And
So hold on one second, Joe. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, hold
Yeah, it
on.
could also be there's a volume button on my phone. I went ahead and hit that. It sounds better.
Okay. Well, Blair, go ahead. Give him a little test again, and then we'll.
wow, Joe, you don't even know me that well, and you also
Oh,
think I'm very loud.
oh wow, really loud now.
Okay. That's more like
That's
it.
more like it.
That's more like it. All right. Well, Joe, thank you for joining us. We have got a whole half of season to catch up with on the My Fantasy Wife podcast, Game of Thrones Fantasy League. And I did speak to Beth Corvino yesterday, and I told her we'd be doing this summary. We weren't able to work out her getting on air. But we went ahead, Joe, and I went ahead and added up the stats for the first 5 episodes. Everyone, this is the standings so far. All right?
Yeah.
And we have not talked about the second 5, so this is going to be a big cluster. Let's see. Drew has 1 point.
Yeah.
Beth Corvino, 3 points.
All right.
Lewis and Blair are tied at 4 points each.
Nice.
I got points of my own sitting way up high.
Gary, that sounds lovely, honey. Gary
I'm working on the night
has
moves.
5.5 points. And Joe, you have 6 points. So
wow.
So basically at the half, you are behind you're ahead of Gary by 0.5. However, I think this is going to change. I'm actually going to give each of you your own sheets, and you're going to have to just be honest. Drew, you're going to have to actually look at this.
Drew,
So-
you're gonna have to actually be
I mean,
honest
what's
for
the-
once in your
what's
life.
the-
For the
point.
love of Christ, can you try? Can I trust you guys to do this honestly?
What's the
But this way you can make your arguments for your own characters, and I don't have to remind you who you have. Mr. Bishop, here you go. All righty now. I'm gonna do my best to advocate for Beth because she's got some good stuff. Now, guys, how would you like to do this? Would you like me to go week by week from week 6 to week 10?
Sure.
Sure.
All right.
I'm not gonna remember him in order.
Well, or should we just have I printed out a ridiculous amount of information. So in episode 6, we've got a few things happening. We've got a few things happening.
Who are my people again? Who is Masendi?
That's actually she does some stuff later, I think. I think this is the one where Bran is saved by his uncle in like the woodlands. Jaime is ousted from the King's Guard from his son. Sam is taking the sword from his father's castle, or maybe that's the next one. I think Arya's deciding that she's a Stark and gets the hell out of there. Or would you guys like to just go through the characters and argue for some things that make some awesome points?
Yeah, let's
that you
just do that.
remember? That sounds like more fun. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think instead of going episode by episode, it's just going to be probably a little bit.
Well, we have some
It's
outlines.
going to be hard to remember where everything took place, but
Right.
if we just argue for cool stuff that happened,
Yeah.
that might be easier.
Yeah, I think I think I'm going to start with one of Beth's. She's got Sansa Stark, and I'll tell you two things right off the bat. One, when she brought the army at the second to last episode.
Oh, I'm bringing the army.
Yeah, brought that extra army that made him win and stuff. And then I think we can all agree that when she fed Ramsay Bolton to the dogs.
Fed his face to the dogs, yeah.
I'm thinking those are awesome points right there. Both individual awesome points.
I can get on board with that. Yeah, I think that's worthy of 2 points.
Had we already given her a point for the speech
Yes.
that she made to
That-
Littlefinger about being abused by...
I looked that up, and I believe that was in episode 5.
I feel like it was, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
we already gave an for that. And, not on these, none of us have her, but the Lyanna Mormont, the little 10-year-old, queen lady,
Yeah, she was pretty
she
badass.
kicks ass.
Yeah.
She's my hero.
You can draft her next year.
I wish I could be more like
Well,
her.
does Baelish get points for saving the day as well?
I don't know.
I mean, they were his army.
Yeah,
were his
but
army.
I don't know, Joe. What do you think? Does Baelish get a point in that bringing the army thing that I just gave Sansa?
Jon Snow would be dead if he did not. That's all I'm
Again.
saying.
What do you think, Joe?
I can see that. I think his whole masterminding and getting there right at the right time. He's not going to get anything else, but I think that's worth a point.
Yeah. I'm just trying not to have just 1 point. That's all I'm saying.
Now, all right, there you go. Everyone willing to give Drew an awesome point on that helping Sansa rally the army
Yeah.
for Jon Snow?
I will say it's so.
It's borderline, but okay.
Look, I'm not coming close to beating you guys. You can give me this.
That's fine.
Right.
Unless you want to give me 10 points for the Black Dragon, because I feel like he deserves a shit ton.
Well,
of
we'll
points.
get to that.
Well, okay, now, I'm also going to, from Beth's list, Sam, I thought it was awesome when he took his dad's sword and he grew a pair, got going.
Well, except it's going to get him killed.
Well, we don't, but that's never stopped us from awarding an awesome point, though.
True.
I mean, a lot of this stuff's going to get, do you think that, when he was like, no, I'm leaving, I'm taking the sword, we're all leaving here, we're out. I thought that
Audi
was awesome.
5000.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome point worthy. What do you think, Drew?
I mean,
He was standing up for himself. This guy never stands up for anything.
yeah, but he stood up to go work at a library.
So, but somebody's got to work at the library.
He's killed
not
a White
working at the
Walker with a
library.
knife. Now he's
Back in
stealing his dad's sword.
Exactly.
What do you think,
He's falling
Joe?
apart. He's losing his mind.
Is Sam worthy of any awesome points, whether it's for the sword or something else?
If he would have killed his dad and then walked away, then maybe.
I think worthy of 1 for stealing the sword and leaving. I thought that was relatively awesome, but not awesome for getting his library card, though.
Right.
Yeah. No, all right, fine. Fair enough.
No women in the library. Okay, see ya.
See, he
It's
should,
nice
have
traveling with you for the last 6 months.
he should have his point taken away because he was a douche.
If we're going to start taking points away because people are douches, then nobody's going to have a
Well,
point.
that'll be the end of our podcast.
Yeah,
won't
that's
it?
It's over. Marjorie Tyrell, she died. I guess you could argue she was trying to play the game. She realized that Cersei was going to blow
She
everything
did
up.
wink once to show that she was faking.
I don't know. I didn't. What do you think, Joe?
No.
Who was that?
Marjorie Tyrell?
Eh.
Meh.
She didn't do anything. I thought there was a chance when she had that secret message, but nothing.
Yeah.
Unless getting incinerated in a giant ball of green flames is awesome.
Right.
then
It was awesome, just not for her.
Yeah. And then we've got Reek Theon. He was a witness, I feel like, to awesome things, but I don't think Theon's done anything himself that awesome. He went with his sister places and stuff. But
The only thing I would consider him is that speech he gave when they thought he wanted to be king, and then he said
But
his
we
sister.
already did
But we
that.
did that already.
That was
Yes,
already-
that's what I was going to say. So,
yeah.
No, I don't think he gets another one since then.
What about you, Drew?
No.
What do you think?
No,
Joe,
not
no?
on him.
No. All right. So, and Sansa Stark, we're sticking with the brought the army and Ramsay Bolton.
Yeah.
All right. Drew, would you like to argue for your character's awesome points?
Yeah, I think my black dragon deserves at least.
I'm not giving you an awesome
17.
point every time your black dragon shows up with what's your
But it's
face
a
on the back.
dragon, dude.
Yeah, but we're not.
Okay, well, he at least gets awesome point for burning down the ships.
Yeah,
Okay,
I would agree
yes,
with that.
yes. I would say, can you mark that on your thing? I'm going to have to keep track of everything.
And
Never
he
mind.
also saved her. We never gave him a point for him swooping in at the right time and saving her when the city was
yes,
under
we
attack.
did. Yeah, we thought we did.
Nope.
Back in the day.
Nope.
When was that?
I got no points for my dragon so far.
What's that? What are you talking about?
Earlier on and it could have been six or seven when the city was under attack
Yeah.
and dragon swooped in. She jumped on his back and peaced out.
Are you remembering what he's talking about, Gary?
Yeah, I think that's from like 3.
Yeah.
But well, how come I never got a point?
Are you talking about when they were walking back?
Like
Or
when
when
the
they came back to
the
Marine
gold
and she burned all the shit.
yeah all the gold face people were killing her. I'm
Yeah,
just
he's
saying, why
talking
did I
about,
not?
like, at
why have
the-
I not had a point for that? That's all I'm asking.
I don't know. I guess we.
I don't even know what we're talking about right now.
When the entire city was under attack, they were in the Colosseum.
Yeah,
The
in,
gold,
like,
the
episode
sons of
3.
whatever.
Because that was last season.
That was
not
last season, man.
That was last season. Yeah. That's why you
Did
don't
you
have a
even
point for
watch
that.
the show?
Well then,
Do you even Game of Thrones, bro?
did you even Game of Thrones?
Now, Lewis is, of course, exempt. But you are not, Drew. That's from last season.
Because I am legally blind and deaf.
Looking that up.
Who said that?
He's amazing. But Drew, I will give you for burning the
Yes,
ships.
that's definitely one.
Okay.
burning,
Yeah, definite point there.
burning the ships. What else you got, Drew? Right.
Yeah, I got nobody else. Miss Sandy didn't do shit.
No, yes, she did. I've got one from Sandy when she told that terrible joke and started drinking with Tyrion.
That's an awesome point. I mean, if you're willing to give it to me, I'll
That's
take it.
I don't know if that was that awesome.
Okay.
It was a bad joke.
All right. All right. I thought you guys would be happy that the hot girl started drinking and telling jokes, but guess not. What else? That's it
Oh,
for-
listen, girls just listen. They're not gonna. We're just not gonna give it to them just because they're a girl and they drink and then they think they're funny. I mean, come on.
You guys would normally do that
Was
if it
it
was
Comedy Central?
if it was a real girl and it was that was a okay. Mr. Bishop,
Yes.
would you like to read your characters and
Sure.
make some arguments
I
for
will.
them?
All right, right from the top. One of my first characters is Franken Mountain, better known as the Mountain. And
Yeah, he did some cool shit.
listen, whenever you Google Mountain from Game of Thrones, the first thing that pops up is Mountain of Game of Thrones diet. Does any of your other characters have a diet plan after him?
What is part of the Mountain Game of Thrones diet? Please tell.
Oh, he eats a shit ton. Dude.
Hold on, let me find. Because I figured you guys probably would be.
Well, I was going to give him an awesome point for pulling that guy's head off.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Joe?
Yeah.
Remember when he?
Oh, for sure a point for tearing that guy's jaw out.
Yeah,
Oh, you rip a guy's jaw out? Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah. Well, we'll give you one for that. But what's the Mountain from Game of Thrones diet?
Well, that's
Eats a shit
that's
ton
where-
of eggs.
That's where you wake up at 6:50 in the morning to work out, cardio, core, and then you eat a handful of almonds. And at 7:30, you eat 8 eggs, 200 GR of oats. I don't know what that is.
Grams.
Oh, grams. Okay.
It's probably a European article.
Blueberries, strawberries, avocado.
Sure.
Then at 9:30, you ate
Wow.
400 grams of beef, 400 grams of sweet potatoes, a handful of spinach and greens. And then at 11:50, you eat. I don't know what that is. Then at 12 o'clock, you eat 400.
Was it quinoa?
Nah, BCCA. Probably some sort of.
It's like a nutrition bar,
Nutrition.
it looks like.
Then at 12, you eat 400 grams of chicken plus 400 grams of potatoes and greens and some fruits.
Wow.
And then at 1 o'clock, you blender 150 grams of oats or sweet potatoes, 2 bananas, 150
Wow.
grams of Kellogg's Rice Krispie Treats,
What?
frozen berries, a handful of almonds, peanut butter. Then
Wow.
at 2 o'clock, you.
Jesus Christ! What
he's
does he
a large
do?
man.
What is he doing? He's only making food and eating food.
Then you train for the strongman competition. Then you eat some more of those protein
Almonds
bars.
and protein.
Then at 5:30, you eat 600 grams of protein plus 2 bananas.
Then at
Wow.
7 o'clock, you eat 500 grams of
Okay.
beef, potatoes, and greens.
I'm exhausted.
Hold on, we're not done
No,
eating
it's still
yet.
going.
Oh my god.
Then at 10 o'clock, you eat, no, not 10 o'clock, that would be 9 o'clock. You eat 500 grams of salmon, 500 grams of sweet potatoes. Then at 11:30, we wrap it up with a nice little snack of 500 grams of some sort of protein or 6 eggs, your choice, plus avocado, 30 grams of almonds, 50 grams
Wow.
of peanut butter. And
Wow.
you're done for the day.
Hold
Also,
on, middle of the night. You got to wake up in the middle of the night, eat some protein or raw eggs.
oh, yes, and
Are you fucking kidding me?
and don't forget, during the day, drink a lot of water throughout the day, plus juices, just to keep your calories up also. So that's my first.
It gets close to 10,000 calories a day.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
my first thing. So I think I should get a point for.
Oh no, you're not getting. That has nothing to do with
Well,
the show.
I mean,
you're
how
not
long is
getting
the
a
show?
point for that.
How long is the show? Let's say the show is.
It's an hour long.
What I'm saying, how many weeks? 10 weeks, right? Or is it 20
Yeah, 10 weeks.
So that's a 10-week program. So
No.
I should get
No.
2 points per week.
No,
All right.
no.
All right. So
This is not Weight Watchers. You don't count your
I don't
points
count the
every
points?
week for
Okay,
the
fine.
diet.
All right. So
Yeah.
he ripped off a guy's jaw. I heard that from
Yes.
Joe. Joe, what else did he do? Oh, Joe's not helping me now.
What's that?
Did he do anything
I was-
of note? Yes.
I was trying to jot down my menu for tomorrow.
Right. Now, audience, you may not be familiar with Joe Perot, although look him up, Perrow. He is not. He's not mountain size.
No?
Is that fair
No.
to say, Joe? I mean, you're not the size.
His personality is certainly
Yeah,
mountain
Oh,
size.
sure, personality-wise, of course, but you know,
Does anybody think they could eat that in one day?
Joe
You
doesn't.
think you could
I
put it
could.
away?
I wouldn't want to.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't like raw eggs.
Well, do they have to be raw?
I don't know.
Some of them were. The midnight snack was raw egg.
Yeah.
Joe, do you get up in the middle of the night to have a snack of 6 raw eggs?
You've got to. I mean, that's the only way to put on that
Right.
is to have a mid slumber egg shake.
Right. Exactly.
All right.
That's delicious.
I'll tell you what he did that gets a point.
What?
Like maybe 2 weeks ago, he ripped the religious guard's
That's
head
what I just
completely
said.
off his body.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's
well, I
what
didn't
I
hear
said
you.
that.
Well, I'm agreeing with you then.
Oh.
Week
I guess.
2, yeah, pop the guy's head
It
off.
was not week 2. It was a week or 2 ago.
Oh, okay.
Now, is that different than ripping the guy's jaw off that you're talking about, Joe?
Yeah, he got throughout the season. He had 2 moments. One, he bashed that drunk guy's head in on the street. But that was like the second episode.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure we gave a point for that one.
We did.
But then, yeah, it was like episode 7 or 8 when a couple guys from the Faith Militant
Yeah,
were
right.
trying to intimidate him, and the one guy hit him with the hammer, and then he pulled his face off.
It didn't work.
Yeah, but that's one point. That's when Cersei says, "I choose violence."
Right. Yes.
What else you got there, Lewis? Besides the mountain?
I have Grey Worm. So he
No, he
hasn't
didn't.
really done anything.
No, not really.
I think Grey Worm had a moment in episode 9 when they were talking to the Wise Master,
Yeah.
and he did like this double throat slit in one move.
did.
I thought that was
He
pretty.
did.
That was
He
pretty
did.
awesome.
It was when the Masters came back, and the 2 of them they were saying one of you has to die, and 2 of them together were trying to sell out the middle guy.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
right.
Grey
Yep.
Worm
Yep.
killed the 2.
Yep, that's right.
You know what? There you go. He
Yeah.
gets one for killing. We'll call that a double throat slit. Throat slit.
Yeah, that's hard to say.
I know.
We call it a double Dutch Cuban necktie is what we like to call
Okay,
it.
Yes.
double Dutch Cuban necktie.
Colombian necktie.
Colombian necktie. I got double Dutch Colombian necktie, so that when we're okay, as that's Grey Worm, and so,
Jon Snow. Did he come back from the dead or something like that? Right?
no, well, we already gave him a point for that.
But I'm just saying.
I'm not giving him a point every episode because he
He
continues to not be dead.
He does get a point for beating the shit out of Ramsey, though.
He did beat up Ramsey Bolton pretty good. And his dog came and licked the blood off his face before he ate him.
Beating up Ramsey Bolton didn't seem that. I mean, he was right there.
You celebrate Easter every year.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
No, I don't really.
I think Jon Snow's got several points coming his way, right?
Okay.
I
He's got
agree.
to.
I agree.
He's got one. I think he should get 1 point for riding out into the middle of the battlefield, which
Yes,
although it was
for Rickon.
stupid,
Yeah.
then once he got there,
Well, he should
killed
be
like
dead.
100
He should be
killed
dead,
like
though.
100 people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
riding for Rickon.
But
so
he was
that's the
he
point.
was 1 second from death before like his side came up behind him. Like that was really actually a
Yeah.
stupid thing to do.
I mean, does he get a point for being a bastard and getting all the families to stand behind him? Like that was pretty
no,
cool.
but
that
I
did
feel
well,
that.
like-
that final episode, like all the kings swore to him. That's almost
Yeah,
a moment
I thought
for
that
him.
was pretty badass.
What do you think, Joe?
I think he should get a point for the battle. Just
In
like
general?
I said, he killed like 100 people, and then when they rolled into Winterfell and Ramsay started shooting the arrows, he blocked the arrows, smashed him with the shield.
Yeah, that's what
and
I
then
was
just
talking about.
Pummeled the shit out of him. I think that's worth a point.
Okay.
And then I would even say being named the King of the North,
Right.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
pretty
saying.
awesome.
Alright.
As a
Maybe 3
bastard.
points.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
With all of this.
I'll give you that.
I agree with all this.
You don't say.
So
Bishop actually says you're being too generous. He'll only accept 2 of those 3 points.
Yeah.
No,
so
no.
for Jon Snow, we've got 4 points here. Riding for Rickon, the battle generally, smashing Ramsay, etc., and becoming King o' the North.
Yeah.
All right. Damn, Lewis. Now, what else you got, Lewis?
I have Third Eye Raven, which is my favorite cover band of Third Eye Blind
dead
with
now,
That's
though.
So Raven singing.
Did he?
So what's his name's not the Third-Eyed Raven now?
well,
Like he doesn't
I
get-
don't know. How do you want to play that, guy?
No, they
You
refer
know.
to the older guy.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
The other
that
guy's
revelation
Bran
at the end was pretty badass.
No, but the guy that he picked was the Three-Eye Raven, the older man.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll take the older guy. I'm not going to cheat.
Did the older guy do anything in the last 6 episodes? Not
He
really.
died with honor.
Yeah, he died like around 5.
Not
so,
particularly spectacularly either.
No.
He's like, I'm just going to go in here and lay down and die real quick, guys.
Yeah, that was kind of it.
Yeah.
Just gonna
I
go
mean, is
pass
that
away
not
in my
badass
sleep.
in itself?
True.
And what else you got there, Lewis?
I have the White Walker King, or the King's Knight.
Oh, okay. The White Walker King. I think we already gave a point. We did. We already gave a point. It was in 5 when we saw how he was created.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that, we didn't see him.
No,
really.
I don't believe he's been in the show for 5 episodes.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
coming. I'd take him next
Oh
year.
yeah.
Winter King's coming.
Yeah. Isn't that right, Joe? He hasn't been in the last 5 episodes.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the Night King second half of the season.
All right. Anything else, Lewis? I think that's
That's
it
it.
for you.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
All right. Should we? I'll go next. I'm leaving you and Joe for last since you
Okay.
have the most points to
All right.
start. Brienne of Tarth. She sailed away on that boat.
Oh.
And I thought that was nice.
What about
No.
And she,
You thought it was nice or that it was awesome?
I thought it was nice.
These are
I'm
nice
gonna be honest.
points.
She had the tete-a-tete with. She kind of confronted Jamie and was like, "I'm gonna have to. If it goes down and this negotiation doesn't work, I'm gonna have to fight you."
But she didn't have to.
no,
fight
but
him.
he respects the hell out of her. And
Well, are these respect points?
no, I think it's
Exactly.
awesome.
She offered him
that
that
she confronted
aluminum
him.
sword back. Like there's not much
No.
aluminum on
Yeah.
on the
I'd-
or whatever it
Joe,
was.
what do you think?
Do I think Brienne's getting? I don't know. That she didn't really do much. She talked a little bit, but that was about it.
No,
Yeah.
right.
She
Talking
tried to
is
give
talking.
back a Valerian steel sword.
That's no.
Yeah, well, thanks for trying, Gary.
Okay.
Now I had Jorah Mormont. We haven't seen him. I thought maybe we'd see him again, but we didn't.
He's got VD.
Yeah, maybe. Now I'm going to say this: Lyanna Stark, I have, and I think she gets an awesome point for giving birth to Jon Snow.
Huh.
Last shot of the show. I think she gets an awesome point,
I hadn't considered
and she's
that.
bleeding to death and shit. I think she gets an awesome point.
I think that's reaching.
I don't think so at all.
I can buy it.
So because she's a whore,
No, she's not a whore.
well,
Why she got to be a whore?
because he's married.
What are you talking about?
Whoever the father was.
No, he wasn't. He was just.
Do we know who the father is?
Wasn't he the Mad King?
He was the Mad King.
Wasn't he married?
I don't know. She's not a whore.
How so?
But you know what's going to make him doesn't that make him the half brother to the Dragon Girl?
Yeah. That's going to be a
Joe?
nice, interesting dynamic.
No,
Yeah.
he's her nephew
Oh, because it wasn't the Mad King; it was his.
because
it was his
Daenerys'
son.
dad is Aerys, the Mad King, but who we presume is Jon Snow's dad, is Rhaegar, who was Daenerys' older brother.
Right. Okay. So okay.
So it makes them
Then the Targaryens,
aunt
so-
and nephew.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for clearing that up, Jeff.
Well, I think Lyanna Stark gets a point for giving birth to Jon Snow. I think that's fucking awesome. We've given way shittier points, awesome points for way stupider things.
Name 5.
Okay, I got a list.
I don't know. That's borderline to me.
Joe,
Yes.
what does Lyanna Stark get an awesome point for giving birth to Jon
Yeah.
Snow? What?
Yeah,
Lewis?
I can be on board with that.
All I have is one thing to say, and this is it.
When it comes to 1-year-old Mariah Cartavius, you are not.
What?
He's not the father.
Oh,
That's Maury. Sorry.
it's not. It was from Maury.
I see.
It's not the
No,
far.
okay, never.
Are you going to vote for an awesome point? She gave
Yes.
birth to your main guy, Lewis.
Well, okay, fine. You talked me into
Drew?
it.
I say no.
Gary.
All right.
Right. That's all I need. Like resigned acquiescence is all I'm looking for.
It's borderline.
I don't need
Fine.
enthusiasm.
That's not the
right.
strongest awesome point of
I'll
all
take
time.
it. Tyrion and Varys are my other two. Okay, there's one exchange where Tyrion and Varys are going on. Varys is going to go on a secret mission, and he says something like, "I can't go on a secret mission when I'm accompanied by the most famous dwarf in the city." And then Tyrion says, "The most famous dwarf in the world, motherfucker." He doesn't say motherfucker, but it's implied.
Right. Yeah, it was pretty good.
I'd like to give them each an awesome point.
I don't know about that.
What in the world?
do you think,
Where are you
Joe?
coming up with these awesome
Ooh.
points, man?
What do you think,
I
Joe?
can see. I think that they're both worthy of a collective awesome point. Varys, the thing that he did that was great was he created the alliance for Daenerys to go across the ocean.
Right. Well, I haven't gotten to that
So
yet.
I think that's
Varys.
what's worthy of Varys being awesome.
Yes.
I
Alliance.
don't think he's getting one for Tyrion's funny joke though.
For setting him up. All right, well, we'll give it one between the two of them. And then I think he gets one for exactly going to Dorne and setting up the alliance. Anybody
No,
object to that?
Joe was saying that he gets the point for that, not the other part.
Yeah, no, but he said that they get a point between the two of them because of that
I know
hilarious
one.
So you get a
the
half
one
point, right?
that you already got.
the half point. Well, I'm at point
He's
5.
saying that both of the two things you're just talking about deserves 1 point.
No,
for both.
are you saying that? I thought you were saying the alliance gets
That
him 1
alliance thing
point.
definitely gets a point.
Yeah.
But the joke thing doesn't.
No, it gets a 0.5.
No.
Yes, it does.
No.
Yeah, Joe was saying that it gets a half point per person.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, God.
Sorry. Gary, do you have a problem with that?
Nah.
Since it probably still
That's
keeps
fine.
me behind
That's
where you
fine.
are
That's
already.
fine.
All right.
That's not
it
the
for
greatest
me.
half point we ever gave either.
That's it for me. And then we're gonna do.
I want this to be on. I want this entire
Okay.
game to be under protest.
Okay, we gotta do.
All
We
right.
gotta do real quick because I don't think. How many points did you get there, Lewis?
I mean, what
How
points
many-
do I have?
How many points did we rack up for you just there?
Jon Snow
we
got
had 4.
4.
Jon Snow got 4, and then the double throat cut is one that's 5. You had 6 points, so that 6 points is in addition to your 4. So right now you have 10, and you're on the.
Also, I thought I got one for the mountain ripping some guy's jaw off.
Yeah, I think that's right.
That's that I was talking about. You
Oh.
got 1 for the jaw, 1 for the double throat cut, and then 4 various for Jon Snow, which is 6.
And
Okay.
then the guy's head off too. Mountain had 2 points.
That was from before. That was from before.
Yeah,
Oh, that was before?
The
Additional
head
point.
pop off is current. The jaw was earlier in
yeah,
the season.
Right, that's right.
Oh, okay.
So you're at 10. So and Drew and I and Beth, I think we're all out of it.
Yeah,
so
we're
that's
done.
where I'm getting. We gotta do a quick recap. Joe or Gary, go ahead. What do you think your awesome point should be?
I have Bronn. I think he gets a point for that conversation with the squire where he said we talked about his famous cock, and then he offered to teach him to fight dirty.
I don't know if that was awesome.
If Tyrion saying he was the best dwarf in the world, then him saying, "Oh, your cock is so famous," or whatever the hell he said, which was really damn funny at the time, and then he became his dirty fighting instructor.
What do you think, Joe? I'm deferring to you on this. No, actually, you're. I don't know. We'll have to see if I defer to you on this because it's a lot of competition now.
That's a stretch for an awesome point, especially because I think we're gonna be the ones gunning for the win here. I don't want to be just generous with my points.
What do you
now.
think, Drew?
I mean,
I enjoyed
Did you
it.
see it, Drew?
yes,
Did you
I
see
saw
that
it.
little
I'm caught up.
conversation?
I've seen.
I'm
I've
gonna
seen
give you.
the
I'm
season.
gonna nominate you for half a point on that.
I'm gonna go with half a point too. We gave Blair half a point
All right.
for her
That's
costume.
fine. I'm
Costello
not. I'm
bit.
just telling
I've been
you.
saying no the entire
Okay,
time.
what
so-
That
about-
was, in my opinion, that was his moment. If anybody else has something I'm forgetting that he did, he really hasn't been on that much.
No, but it was nice to see him back.
Let's ask Joe. Anything else, Joe?
Honor system.
Anything else for Braun?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think he was really in the second half of the season that much,
Yeah,
was he?
I agree.
Nah.
That's kind of what I was saying. All
The
right.
only other maybe he gets a point for I assume having a threesome with those two hot wenches.
Well, I would give him a point for that, but I'm not going to nominate that.
If we start giving awesome points for people having threesomes with wenches on this show,
It was
it's gonna
great the
be
way he
crazy.
did it, though, because he wasn't just like, yeah, he's like, all right. Like, he really didn't want to, but
He was willing to give it a go.
what's his face? Jamie convinced him.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I have Daenerys,
Oh gosh,
and she certainly has some points. Was the nude burning thing, was that
that was before.
was before? That was
yeah.
like the last scene of the first half.
What about when she just shows up and tells them, "Hey, this is the start of my reign, not the end."
Yes, that was great. When she went out to meet with the slavers and she said she was there to negotiate surrender terms or whatever, and then they're like, "Oh, we're here to negotiate your surrender, not mine."
That's definitely an awesome point.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And then I think just one for the whole alliance with the other women and sailing off with the giant fleet to go invade Westeros.
Well, the part I'm willing to give her at least a half point, maybe a full point for, was the tete-a-tete with the Sea Queen. What's
what
her
I
name?
just said.
Yeah, the what's her name though? Freya.
I can't remember her name.
The-
Joe will know.
Joe, the Theon's sister.
The Iron.
Yara.
Yara. I think that whole tete-a-tete with Yara is worth a point.
Yes, I agree. That's what I was talking about. And I kind of rolled like the fleet sailing with the
Yeah.
dragon flying it over into that because that's
Yes.
the net result of that.
And anything else for Danny, Drew?
Nah.
All right.
Not that I can.
think.
I mean, I
Alright,
just can't
quick
think of
Gary.
it.
Joe is the one that would know. What does Joe
Joe,
think?
honor system. Anything else
How
for
many?
Dan?
How many total for Danny there?
We've got two. One for the this is the start of my reign, assholes, and two of your dead
Well,
now.
my favorite thing was that when we're here to negotiate surrender,
Yeah.
and she's like, "No, I'm here to negotiate your surrender," and all of a sudden the dragon starts wiping the fleet out. That was awesome.
Yeah. And then the whole speech with Yara and that whole exchange, and then they touch
Getting
hands,
the
and there's
fleet
a moment.
Yes, talking about their fathers
And
being
talking about
bad,
their
but
flowers
they're here
being
to make
bad.
the world better, not worse.
I'm almost willing to give
I
her
think
2
I
points.
think she's worthy of 3 points for the
Yeah.
second half of the season collectively.
Yeah, I think she should get 2. 1 for the badass comment, and then 1 for actually following through with it. Like, nah, this is your surrender point, and then fucking things up point.
Yeah. All right.
Does she get credit for getting on her dragon and then flying it over the fleet of ships and burning a ship? Or because we already gave
Well,
one
we're that's
point to the dragon, that we can't also give it to her.
no, we're kind of giving her. Well, I think we're giving her sort of the credit
Don't you
of
take my
following
point away
through
from me.
in that shit.
I'm good with 2.
Okay.
I'm good with her staring down the slavers and then the
So you're taking-
putting the fleet together and sailing off to Westeros.
But what about the whole thing with Yara?
That's what I'm talking
Yeah, so
about.
we've
That's
got-
what I mean.
So you're giving
I'm
yourself
good with
2
2.
points.
I'm good with 2.
Oh, I see. Oh, babe, that's so nice. Your honor system. You probably
What
would-
about Jaime Lannister? That's a little complex.
Oh.
He did completely end the stalemate in 1 second by pulling the dude out of the dungeon and telling him he was going to kill his son if he didn't go let him in. I think that gets a point. Because otherwise, thousands of people die.
All right, we got to move because we might have to finish this next week if we don't hurry up.
Well, let's move.
I think Jamie gets 1
Yeah.
point for Jamie. That's good.
And what else? Am I forgetting something else with him? We
well,
got to do this more often than every 5
yeah,
shows.
he showed up at the end when looking at his sister.
He didn't really do anything.
No, he didn't really.
Yeah,
do
he
it.
didn't do anything.
But he was like,
He
oh,
okay. He let Brienne of Tarth go, and he didn't have to.
shit. I mean, what was he going to do? Shoot an arrow from the
Yeah.
boat? I don't think so.
What do you think about that, Gary?
No, I don't know. I don't know if that's awesome.
All right. Do you have any?
I thought not taking the $1 billion sword is pretty awesome. The one of 10 that exist in the world. She tried to give it back to him and let her keep it.
What do we think about that, guys?
I mean, it's still not awesome. But
Eh.
All right. Okay, well, that's what I got.
All right.
And then the Boltons. I think Ramsey might. Does Ramsey get a point for shooting? What's his face Stark with the arrow?
Yeah, for sure. For sure gets a point.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Was it Rickon?
Every house in America was screaming, "Weave,
Zigzag.
weave,
Ah, zigzag."
right.
No, serpentine.
I know.
It's from the in-laws.
That was a good scene. And does he get a point? It was pretty awesome when he got eaten by the dog.
But that's not him.
Yeah.
It was him.
I know, but he doesn't get a
I
point.
don't think he gets a point.
Because he was saying they weren't going to do it, and they did it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, babe, that means comes to 5.5 points for you.
No.
No?
I still got the Hound. He definitely has got something.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh, God.
slaughtering 4 guys with an axe in like 5 seconds.
that was pretty badass. I think he gets 2 points.
Okay, quick. Yeah, 2 points. Or
Yeah.
what do we think on that? The Hound, that whole scene where he takes vengeance and all that.
I think there was 2 separate
There
groups,
was.
so he gets
There's
2
two
points.
separate things. I agree. I give the Hound 2 points.
Joe, are you good with that?
What are the 2 things he's getting points for?
The killing the first group and then kicking the chair out from the second group.
He didn't kill the first group.
Yeah,
he did. He put
He
their
cut
axes
their head
in
off
their
with an
head.
axe.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the villagers.
That kills people?
And then
Villagers.
No,
I thought you were
'cause he
talking about
killed
the
'em.
villagers.
He
no,
killed
and
him.
then when he caught up the other guys that were being hung.
He did kick
That
the
whole
chair out from under him.
exchange, and then they takes their boots and everything.
Yeah. And he made them let him kill 2 because they were only going to let him kill 1. Isn't that what happened?
Yes.
I'm trying hard time
He
remembering.
negotiated to kill 2 of them.
I don't know. That's 2 to me.
Joe, are you you go along with that?
I must be forgetting something, but if you guys are all on board with 2, that's all right.
All right.
Curious again, that's fine.
And I also
I
had
just
the red.
remember him going in with the axe and killing those 4 guys.
No, but
And then they brought up he caught up to the
But
guy
he-
in the
yeah,
yellow
Yeah,
foot.
they
caught
didn't
up the rest
have
of
the
them.
one guy that he really wanted wasn't there, and then he caught up later, and he was about to be hung by the other guys. And
Okay.
The
and
bannerless people.
right? The bannerless people, and they told him he could have one of them, and then he ended up negotiating, getting to kill 2 of them, and like took their boots or whatever, and then killed them.
Okay.
All right, so we've got.
And I also had the Red Witch for the 2 weeks, but I don't think she did anything in those 2 weeks. I think she was
Nah.
first half of the season.
No, yeah, because you traded.
That's
out.
why I got rid of her. Okay.
Yeah, 3, 4. So I have 3 for Danny, 1 for Jamie, 1 for Ramsey killing Rickon, 2 for the Hound. So that's 5.
7.
Is it 7?
7.
And then a 0.5. So I have for Braun, we got 7.5, which brings you up to what, Gary?
13.
All right. Surpassing Lewis for the first time ever in any of our brackets.
I could never surpass Lewis.
That's true.
Must have been
All
an
right.
accounting error.
So
How many points?
he's got 13 right now.
All right.
So,
and I had 6.
And you had 6 to start. All right, you've got a lot of stuff. Well, you've got Arya.
Well, she's got some coming. I think if you kill somebody's children, feed them to them in a stew when they don't know it, and then murder them, watch them bleed to death, I think you get a point for that.
Yeah,
You
get
almost
2
might
points.
get a point for making the stew out of their kids, and then a point for killing them.
No, I think she gets 2 points
Yeah.
for the killing and the pie.
Yeah. Which, by
What
the
do you
way,
think, Drew?
by the way,
Yeah,
I think
I get 2 points.
I
on
think
that.
she stole from South Park that one where Cartman killed Scott Tenorman's parents and fed them to him.
You think Martin ripped off the Scott Tenorman episode?
Yeah, it seemed a lot like it. I don't know.
You know, he's influenced by a lot of different things.
That
in his
Scott,
writing.
Hey,
that scene at that South Park had been out a long time.
Yeah, it's true. We don't know that it
That's
didn't.
an early one.
We'll have to go back and do some fact checking on that. What else? There's got to be more for Arya. First of all, she killed
Yeah.
that other girl.
Yes.
Yeah, so
yeah, absolutely.
2 points, one for the pie, one for then slitting
Killing-
his throat after she fed him the pie.
Right. Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Then at least a point for
Waif.
getting set when
That
she
thing-
ran from the waif and then she cut the candle.
That
in half
that
and
was one of the
killed her,
best
and then-
scenes of the year.
I think cutting the candle might
Yeah.
be its own point.
That was an awesome thing to do. Because
And-
that's the only
Alright,
way
so
she
she
could
gets
beat
a-
her.
She
Yeah.
gets a point for that. How about a point for carving her face off and then leading the guy back to the face with the blood trail in the
That
in
was
the Hall of
pretty
Faceless Men?
Yeah. Yeah.
the faceless god.
We see. I consider that all in how she killed the waif.
Okay.
I said like how she trapped and killed the waif, which was the guy, but trapped and killed the waif, and then cut the candle. I see that as 2 points. It's the same sort of couple of scenes, but that's what I think of it as 2 points.
This is what I think. I think she gets 2 points at the castle siege for killing the dude with the thing. There's no question about that. I give her a point for killing the waif because that was badass when she cut the candle thing, and I give her a point for the whole thing with the I forget his name, the main assassin,
Jaqen.
when he said the girl truly now has no name, and she says, "Yes, I do. I have Arya Stark. My name is Arya Stark, and I'm going home." That was a point to me
So
too.
just give us a number. What number did
4.
she get?
I see
All right.
4.
What do
All
you-
right, so four for Arya.
Yeah,
4.
that's what I see. I mean, that's just me.
All right. Well, that means the killing the waif and the cutting the candle you're grouping into 1 point.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Joe?
Yeah, I think I think 4 points is a pretty good.
Good haul.
That's a pretty good score for her. Yeah, I think definitely 2 points for what happened at the Twins, and then we give her like kind of 2 collective points between killing the waif and then all the other stuff that went on around that.
All right, and then you've got Bran Stark.
Yeah, Bran, I don't
He didn't. Really...
I don't think he did anything worthwhile because I think we also agreed on at the beginning of the season that we weren't going to just give him a point every time he sees into the past.
That's true.
So I don't know that giving him a point for seeing Jon Snow being born
Yeah.
is worth it.
I mean, he survived certain death, but he really didn't have anything to do with it at all.
He's just a lucky motherfucker. What about Dario, who's Danny's boyfriend, right?
Yeah, so I think it was real quick, but I think worthy of 1 point during the battle in Marine.
Yeah.
He led the cavalry charge on the front of the gate and lopped some guy's head off. That was pretty sweet.
I don't recall that, but I'll give it to you.
I don't recall it either.
But
Drew?
I believe you.
So-
I like those death points. They're
It was
good.
like right around when the dragons were burning all the ships in the bay, and then there's this scene when he leaves this whole
I know what you're talking about.
he leaves this whole Dothraki cord, and
Yeah.
he's like right at the front of it and goes in, and this guy turns around and he cuts his head right off.
All right,
Yeah, that was
I'm
pretty.
fine
That was
with
pretty
that.
badass.
That's fine.
All right, and your last one here is Tormund Giantsbane.
Ooh, I think I still have 2 more, don't I? Don't I have Cersei too?
No.
Well, somebody's got Cersei. We haven't said her yet.
Don't we have 5 characters?
Yeah. Oh, I accidentally
So,
put
I have-
Dario twice. Sorry. Okay, Cersei.
Well, Cersei didn't do anything.
So Tormund.
Cersei.
Oh, Tormund first. Tormund won 1 point his participation in the Battle of the Bastards. He also killed a ton of people. He was pretty awesome in that battle, especially when he killed Little John Karstark and headbutted him in the nose like 10 times in a row.
Yeah. And then what about Cersei?
Okay, Cersei, I would think is going to pull quite a few points.
So wait, hang on a second.
one-
Wait, so we gave you 1 for the giant? Is that what we said?
No, for Tormund Giantsbane, the big redheaded guy. Who's a wild-
1 point, 1 point
One.
for Tormund.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so now
right.
we're Cersei.
Yeah.
To see,
So
I mean, that's
Cersei,
got to be more than 13.
She blew up
she
the
gets
whole
a
fucking
point.
city.
Well, yeah, she certainly
Yeah,
gets a point
She
for
gets a point
blowing up the city.
for blowing it up.
I think she gets a point, too, for torturing that nun
Yes.
woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you sick a
And then-
mountain on a tied up nun, you get a point for something.
And just the whole
Oh.
speech about, like, oh, I drink wine because I like it.
Yeah.
She also invented a new kind of torture called wine boarding, where you just pour wine on someone's face.
That's
That's
the
been
That's
same.
not
done.
an awesome point. Not an
That's-
awesome
that's
point. But I'm
not-
saying
yeah.
That's part of that same
the
point.
torturing.
Yeah.
And
So
anything,
then
anything
third
else?
point.
Yeah.
a third point for becoming the queen.
Yeah, that's
She kinda- she just-
became the
she
queen.
didn't
She's
ask-
sitting on the Iron
She
Throne.
didn't ask anyone to sit on the throne.
No,
she
she
just
just
like
did it.
Well, that's true. She did just receive the.
Yeah, she just took it.
took it.
Well, no, but she did only because her son killed himself through no. She tried to keep him from killing herself, so she was the queen against her own actions.
I think once he killed himself, and she's, I
It
think
was
she.
pretty funny how
I,
he died.
you just gotta jump.
Well, she's the queen. Like that. That's nothing. That's the line of succession.
Well, let's
like she
put
didn't
it-
take it.
Well, let's put it this way. Arya gets 4, Tormund gets 1, Cavalry Charge for Dario gets 1, that's 6. If we only have 2 for Cersei, that's 8, and that's going to give
wins
14
anyway.
points
Well, see, I think we're forgetting somewhat seriously, too. Like, I think when she sicked the mountain
I
on the
think-
religious guys that came to get her and said
Yeah.
she'd choose violence, that
No,
was in these last
that
five.
was true.
That's a
Choosing
point
violence.
for sure.
I
I think we can just say
I
Joe
think
won.
we can say that Joe, it was well thought. I think you
I
are Game of Thrones champion.
Yep.
2016.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Is there any, very quickly, because boys got to go do the finals, one big prediction for next year?
One big prediction for next year will be that John. I don't know.
Slow
John has
down,
to go
Joe.
north. He's gonna go. He's going back north of the wall for some reason.
All right. Fair
Okay.
enough.
There.
All right, we're going to wrap it up, Joe. Lewis, if you can play our outro music, we're on a tight deadline. Joe, thank you very much, and thank you for contributing to the podcast. We'll be hearing Joe again over the months, folks. That's going to wrap it up for this week, listeners. Special thanks to Tyler Wood, our social media editor, and our contributors, Joe Perot and Wills Maxwell. To download all our episodes and extras, subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher, or go to our website, myfantasywife.com. Thank you, Mr. Bishop, for taking us out with the jazz trumpet stylings of Mr. Al Hurt.